Hello friends, this is Jay and welcome to my channel Tech with Jay. So today we are going to talk about the LG G8X ThinQ little more in detail. So I unboxed this phone couple of days back and then I had a chance to use it for a few days. So I just wanted to bring out few major pros and cons of this device which will impact the average user like myself in the daily usage. So without wasting any further time, let's get started. So this is how the phone looks when it is used with the dual screen module. So before starting, I'll just quickly run through a few options which come in the dual screen. So basically this first one is for the cover display. So when we close this phone, we can see a small 2.1-inch display here. So if we go ahead and basically turn this off, this display would not be shown when you close the flip cover. However, if we keep it on, it will keep on showing it. And then the second one is to just to show that the display is going to be on 10 seconds after the cover is closed, and you have an option to always keep it on. So that's about it. Second is the dual screen tool. The third is use of dual screen. So dual screen tool is basically the different ways we can manage these dual screens and use these dual screens. Second is use dual screen. If we just click it off, the dual screen will go off, and then we can start it from here. Then we have brightness and then keep the same as main screen. So we have an option to have two different brightness levels in two different screens, but it's better to keep it as the main screen so that it looks good to the eye. Second, you can have a different wallpaper for this screen. We can have an app drawer enabled for the screen. Then we can have use both screens at the same time. And then my pick app is something which basically gives us an option to keep one app open on this screen whenever we open the phone. So that's about the few key options which we get for the dual screen. So let me start with the pros first. So the biggest pro for me in this phone is basically the dual screens, which is the important thing which LG has provided along with the box. So it increases the utility of a phone by multiple times. For example, if I'm working on certain thing on my emails, and at the same time I have to type certain messages or look at my calendar and then respond back on my emails, it helps me do that. I can go through Play Store on one screen and then just swipe it with three fingers, which goes to the other screen, and then use my other app, which is a very good thing in a normal scenario. So that is one biggest utility which I feel for these two screens. The second one, which I feel is a very small one, but it gives a big ease when we have to send out certain information at a very quick pace or immediately to someone. So just to give an example, if I want to take a screenshot of a particular thing which I'm watching on say my gallery, and I have to share this particular screenshot, I don't have to go through the entire process of clicking a screenshot and then share, and then you basically find out the app which I'm going to use to share that screen. I can just go to the text message here, and there is a small kind of a button here. If I click this, automatically a screenshot of this screen is attached into this message, and this can be used with emails. This can be used with any messaging app. So it's a very good utility which I found out in this phone. That's the first thing which I felt is very good and can be useful at times when we want to send quick information to our friends or to our family. The third thing which I felt is quite important, and it helps me type faster when I'm sending messages, is that when we go to our messages app or to any messaging app where we want to use a keyboard for typing, we can just click open the message, move it to the secondary screen, put it in the layout, uh, and then just click here, which should show the keyboard, a big keyboard on the second screen. So it becomes very easy to type with a big keyboard, so it's just faster than the normal keyboard layout. We can also move the keys like this, just in case if we are comfortable typing with a smaller layout on two sides, and if not, we can just put it back again. So it's a very important thing which I felt while typing, and it can also be used as a mini a laptop. When we keep it on the table, we can just keep on a bigger keyboard and type a message. So it's a very good utility provided by LG. The next thing which I felt is good is about the gallery and the way it is implemented along with the dual screen. So if you go to the gallery app and I just click on any of the folders here, and I can see a button down here, uh, button right here, and if I click that button, I can move a bigger preview of the picture which I have selected on this screen, which I can see on the dual screen, which gives me a good perspective about the picture, and it's very helpful in sometimes. So that's a very good thing according to me. And the last thing, or the last pro which I felt is very important, is with regards to the Whale browser, which comes with this particular LG device. And if we click on that Whale browser, we can just have this browser extended as a big view. So wide view, if we click on this wide view, then I can see entire browser and use it like a big screen. Though I can have a big hinge in between, but still it has some utility and it looks really, really well. The next thing about the Whale browser which I liked is that if I go to this Whale browser and if I click on this button here, there is some utility which comes here. So if we click on this link button at the top, if we want to browse the catalog, it will actually throw the option on the second screen. So just for an example, if I want to look at this mobile in detail, but at the same time I don't want to lose the catalog here, so at the same time I can view both the screens. So the information on this particular link is shown on this particular screen, and the first catalog which was there is still retained on the screen. So it's a very good thing which is only possible in the Whale browser. It's not possible in the apps or anything as of now, but it's a good thing and can be used whenever we want to go and look for certain things on the web, but at the same time don't lose the options which are given in the first screen. So this was all about the dual screen modules. The second pro which I felt was the 4000 mAh battery. So again, you will say that uh, this can also be a con, and yes, we will talk about it in the con section as well. But when we use this phone as a single phone and not in the dual screen module, the 4000 mAh battery was able to sustain the entire day for my usage, and at the end of the day I still had around 20% or 25% battery remaining. But when we put it in the dual screen, it's a different story, and we'll talk about it in the con section. The third pro which I felt was the durability. So this phone comes with IP68 rating and a military standard rating, which is given post certain tough tests of durability which are performed on this device. So it's a good thing that we get those kind of durability ratings for this phone. The next section or the next pro which I felt was the gamepad. So in this particular phone, specifically for gamers, and I think that would be more interesting for the gamers, is we have a section for games here. There are preloaded games here, but the important thing is that we have a LG gamepad here. So once we click this gamepad, we are able to see certain preset gamepads here which can be used with certain games, and there are already preset gamepads in this machine. So just to give you a look of it, if you look at this, there is one console like this, the second one is like this, the third is arcade, and the basic style. And the most important thing is that we can still go ahead and create a custom gamepad as per selection. The only criteria is the game where this can be used is the game which supports physical gamepads as well. So that is one important thing, and I think that is the a big pro of this phone, and that will basically be more interesting for the gamers. The last thing which I want to talk about is the speakers. The speaker quality is really good. It has a dual firing speakers, one at the bottom and one at the top, but they're really balanced and the sound output is very nice. At the same time, for the earphones, LG has a 32-bit hi-fi quad DAC, which basically provides a really good output for the headphones, and even for the high-end headphones, you can really enjoy the music. So that's one good thing I felt in the sound section, and that basically covers all the five major pros. Now we'll move to the cons. The first con I felt is this device is very bulky when it is put in the the module or the dual screen case. Though it's not very bulky, but it is not possible um to use this device with one hand, or even to operate this device with one hand, no matter how you try it. The second point, what I felt is the battery consumption. Again, I talked about battery consumption in the pros, but the battery consumption becomes a con when this particular screen is used with this module, because this module doesn't come with any secondary battery. So this screen and the front screen both use the battery which is there in the phone. So when you put it in the module, it normally consumes around 20 to 25% of the battery. And when I put it in the module, one day I used completely with the module, and I had to charge the phone again in the night, because the phone had almost gone down to 10% or below that. So that is the second con which I felt about this phone. The third one is that this phone doesn't have any Face ID. The only locking mechanism other than the keypad is the fingerprint scanner. But in such kind of implementation, it would have been very nice to see a Face ID, because when you open the phone and you look at it, if the phone unlocked by itself, it could have been really helpful. Now the third step which we have to add after picking up the phone, opening the phone, is to put the fingerprint to unlock the phone, which becomes a little hectic than a normal phone which we use on a daily basis. So that's the third con which I felt, and which will impact the day-to-day use, and the more number of times you open the phone. The fourth one is the one-handed movement. So when we are mobile, when we are moving around, or we are on the a bike or traveling, it is very difficult to use this phone, because we can see someone calling on this particular screen. We can take the phone with the Google key, but still, if we want to type a message, or if we want to send something to someone, we still have to open the phone, and it's really impossible to open this phone with one hand. So that's another con according to me. And the last one which I felt is that, again, when we are moving and we have to quickly click a photograph of something, it's very difficult on this phone, because first you have to open the phone, unlock the phone, open the camera module, and then click the phone. So you can't use the camera when the phone is closed. So that's the fifth con which I felt in this particular phone. And I think these are the pros or the cons which I discussed will impact the daily average user who uses the phone for normal texting, browsing, capturing photographs on a daily basis, taking calls. So these are the major five pros and cons. There will be obviously certain other good things and not so good things about this phone, but these are the things which I felt and which came out really glaring at me when I was using this phone for a couple of days. So if you have any questions other than these ones which I mentioned in this video, please drop a message in the comment section, and I'll surely get back to you with the details. Thank you very much all for watching the video. If you have liked the video, please hit the like button, and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much, guys. This is Jay signing off for today. Thank you. Bye.